kindergarten families from Kramer. This is Miss Roach. I teach STEM to 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders, and I'm going to help you today understand how to turn your work into Mrs. Mortimer. I've noticed that several of you have accessed the Google Classroom and found your assignments. If I hop on to this assignment here, Wednesday, April 1st, I can see that Mrs. Mortimer gave me a list of things to do. When I'm looking at the list, if I want to show Mrs. Mortimer that I've completed some of this work, I can turn my work into her. So I found down here where it said I was supposed to be a word detective, and look for the letter G. You can search anywhere, books, tags, clothes, cookbooks, and then sneak up on the letters. So I went around and I did a hunt for the letter G, and I took a picture of all the words that I found, and I want to show Mrs. Mortimer my work. So in this assignment over here, you will see that she has assigned it, and I can either mark it as done, which shows Mrs. Mortimer that I finished it, or I can attach work to really show Mrs. Mortimer that I finished it. So watch what I'm going to do. Up here where it says your work, I'm going to click add or create. When I do that, it brings up a whole list of things that I can add and give to Mrs. Mortimer. I took a picture, so I'm going to upload a file for Mrs. Mortimer. When I click on file, now it wants me to show where my file is. So I took this picture and I'm just going to drag it here. This picture was saved on my computer. Here's the picture. This was saved on my computer. And what I'm doing now is I'm dragging it into this assignment and I'm going to click upload. Once I click upload, that will send it to Mrs. Mortimer, and I can then turn my work in. If I wanted to add multiple pictures to show Mrs. Mortimer, or maybe even a video of me reading a book, I could add more work using the same links here to add more work to my assignment. When I'm ready for Mrs. Mortimer to see my work, I can turn it in, and that's this button here. If I have anything special that I need to tell her, I can write it here, and that will send along with my work with this button here. So I've attached my G words. I'm going to click turn in. It tells me that it's going to submit this to Mrs. Mortimer, and then when I turn it in, it goes to Mrs. Mortimer. If I wanted to add more, let's say later today I do another assignment and I want to add more, the option to turn your work in is gone. But once you've submitted it, you can unsubmit it. And what that will allow you to do is to add more to it and then turn it in again. So you would only unsubmit if you forgot to add something or you wanted to add something else, and then you would turn it in right away again for Mrs. Mortimer to see. That can be done with any assignment that she's posted. Let's say I find something from down here. If I want to click on it, I can read through any of the assignments and I can turn my work in like that. You're doing a great job. I'm sure she's so impressed.